news in English with Eris Tiwa. Good morning, Eris.
Good morning, Sophie.
The headlines.
Unions and employers present demands as government takes note with ongoing tripartite talks on salary compensation. Parliament resumes debates on the return of the points-based driving licence for the Road Traffic Amendment Bill. Heavy rain watch in force as meteorological services closely monitor unstable weather conditions. Street harassment under the spotlight with new study revealing scale of gender-based violence in Mauritius. Public universities to introduce micro-certifications aimed at bridging skills gap with labor market. New U.S. Embassy construction reaches key milestone as main structure is completed. In world news, World Cup ticket prices spark backlash as fans accuse FIFA of breaking affordability promises. And in sports news, Mauritius wins first silver medals at youth games in Angola through cycling and athletics. The tripartite government, employers, trade unions meeting, which took place yesterday under much anticipated conditions, lasted one and a half hours. Trade unionists and employer representatives were given the opportunity to express themselves, propose the level of salary compensation they are calling for, and defend their positions. Government representatives took note of the various demands. More on this with Maya Lachman.
The employers were represented by stakeholders from various sectors, including business, commerce, export, agriculture, tourism, and small and medium enterprises, amongst others. Around 10 trade unions were represented. After the Prime Minister's speech, negotiations began, lasting for 90 minutes. Minister Reza Outim described the exercise as delicate.
syndicalistes commencent entre 858 roupies à 1950 roupies.
Unions started between 858 rupees to 1,950 rupees. We have also listened to employers who are saying that the economic situation is difficult, and if the increase is too big, either they will pass it down to consumers by increasing prices, else they are asking government for a grant. The proposals discussed during this meeting will be reviewed by Cabinet tomorrow before the salary compensation amount is announced.
And moving to National Assembly, where parliamentary proceedings are set to resume at 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. Debates on the Road Traffic Amendment Bill will continue and are expected to conclude on the same day. It should be recalled that this bill provides for the reintroduction of the points-based driving license system. In his speech on Tuesday, the Minister of Land Transport, Osman Mohamed, stressed that the objective of the points system is not to generate revenue through fines, but to ensure the safety of all road users. And on to weather news, where since 4:15 a.m., Mauritius has been under a heavy rain watch, which is valid until tomorrow, Saturday at 5 a.m. According to the meteorological station, humid and unstable conditions are prevailing in our region, favoring the formation of very active cloud masses. Meteorological services indicate they are closely monitoring the situation along with the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Center. In other news making headlines, following the recent monumental judgment in the femicide case, 66.1% of women say they have already been harassed in the streets of Mauritius. This is the striking finding of a new study published recently. Out of 530 people surveyed, more than one woman in two reports have experienced this often invisible, yet very real form of violence. The findings were presented during a feedback workshop jointly conducted by the University of Mauritius, the University of Oslo, and the University of Pretoria. The meeting aimed to confront stakeholders with the scale of this form of gender-based violence. From January 2026, public universities will roll out their micro-certifications. These are short, practical training programs designed to respond quickly to the needs of the Mauritian labor market. This pilot project aims to reduce the persistent gap between candidate skills and those sought by employers. Developed with key players from strategic sectors, these courses will be fast, flexible, and aligned with professional realities. According to the Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Kaviraj Sharma Sukon, this initiative will improve the alignment between training and the workplace, made possible by the amendment to the Higher Education Commission Act last June. Mauritius Post, in collaboration with Winners Supermarkets, is launching a magical appeal to young children. Children aged 4 to 8 are invited to write a letter to Santa Claus, sharing a short story or a memorable moment from their lives. Letters should then be sent to the official address Santa Claus, 1 Cloud Path, North Pole, PO Box 250. And a big novelty this year, Santa himself would deliver special gifts to the children who write the most beautiful letters, a surprise sure to light up many young faces. And finally, in other news, a symbolic milestone has been reached in the construction of the new United States Embassy in Bagatelle, with the topping off ceremony marking the completion of the building's main structure. The Mauritian and American flags were raised at the highest point of the building, symbolizing the partnership between the two countries. Speaking after the ceremony, U.S. Ambassador Henry Jardine welcomed the progress of AGOA and reaffirmed America's long-term commitment to Mauritius. He indicated that the new embassy should be completed between late 2026 and early 2027, describing the project as a strong symbol of cooperation and mutual trust. We take a listen to the ambassador's statement.
Well, it's positive to see what has happened with the House Ways and Means Committee doing the markup and voting the bill out of its committee. That'll go forward to the House. Again, we'll have to see what happens in the Senate. You have to have language in a bill from both the House and Senate, and then they will look at adjusting that, and then they'll send forward a single bill for voting. But this is, I think, a really important step. It means that the Congress is looking very closely at AGOA. We knew all along Congress was very interested in supporting AGOA, that they saw as a very positive thing, and that they wanted to keep Mauritius in AGOA. And I know these were all questions that have been out there. So again, I would see this as a very positive sign that the U.S. Congress is committed to trying to push forward AGOA, and that we see the value of AGOA.
And you're listening to Rm1. It's 9:08. When we move to international news, soccer fans have accused FIFA of a monumental betrayal after the latest World Cup ticket prices began circulating on Thursday. The governing body allocates 8% of tickets to national associations for games involving their teams intended for sale to loyal supporters. A list published by the German Football Federation revealed prices ranging from $180 to $700 for a group stage match. The lowest price for the final stands at $4,185, while the highest reaches $8,680. These figures contrast sharply with FIFA's claims of $60 tickets being available, and with earlier promises by US soccer officials during the bidding process to offer hundreds of thousands of $21 seats during the opening phase of the tournament. And finally, in sports news, Mauritius has secured its first 2 silver medals at the Youth Games taking place in Angola. The opening medal came in for cycling behind Algeria and ahead of Ethiopia. In athletics, Selina Jolicoeur added a second silver medal for Mauritius by finishing runner-up in the triple jump with a leap of 11.90 meters. Meanwhile, beach volleyball proved challenging at the start. The men's team lost to Kenya and the Gambia in Group B and will next face Zimbabwe. In the women's competition, Mauritius opened with a walkover win against Sierra Leone and will face Egypt next. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening. Stay tuned now to the Into Me playlist until 10 a.m.